So I saw a post on Instagram um, talking about who has a better career, Matt Ryan or Eli Manning. Now, you can look at it in two ways, right? Like, what's more impressive, stats or championships? You know, like I think to me, and I'm not a stats guy, but stats are more interesting. I think stats are more harder than to win a championship because anybody can win a championship. You know, you don't really have to do too much to win a championship. You know, when you have, Robert Ory, you have Brian Scalabrine. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do diddly crap on that Celtics team. Robert Ory had one good game, hit one big shot, and that was about it. So you really don't really have to do anything to win a championship, you know. But I think, putting up stats and sustaining those stats year in and year out is very hard, you know. But in this case, you have Eli Manning versus Matt Ryan. Now, Matt Ryan has been to the Super Bowl. And for the people who say, well, it was Matt Ryan who gave up 24 points, it wasn't him who gave up 24 points. He did his job. They just didn't run the ball effectively enough, I think. You have two good solid backs, use them, instead of just passing. Because we all knew that year the Patriots could not stop a Cole against the run. They was just bad against the run, and it showed. But for some odd reason, the Falcons didn't stick to that. The Falcons didn't stick to the script. They just kept on passing in that run, even though they knew the Patriots couldn't stop them on the ground. So I'm not going to fault Matt Ryan. I think his defense gave up on him. Why? I don't know. But yeah, he blows Eli Manning out the water in every statistical category, except for games played, because obviously Eli Manning was Iron Man. But outside of, playoffs, Matt Ryan is 2-3. Regular season Matt Ryan is 3-1. Regular season for Eli, he's 2-3. Playoffs, Matt Ryan is 2-3. Eli Manning is 9-1. I don't know why they say 1-0 in the playoffs. Maybe they just basing it off of their first playoff win. But yeah, just let me know what y'all think, man. It's crazy how people think Matt Ryan was better than Eli. Matt Ryan didn't throw that many interceptions. Matt Ryan ran that many touchdowns, ran for many touchdowns. He threw for many touchdowns. He had a better completion percentage than Eli. But because of those two Super Bowl rings, and Matt Ryan doesn't have any, he's been to one. He's been to a Super Bowl. And I think that would have been the Falcons' first Super Bowl win, too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I don't think they ever won a championship, so that would have been their first championship. So you got the Saints with one, the Panthers never won, the Buccaneers obviously twice with, you know, um, who was the quarterback at the time? No, not Tom Brady. Early 2000, Jeff Garcia. No, it wasn't Jeff Garcia. It was somebody. I forgot his name. But yeah, they would have been on. They would have actually tied with the Saints. Hmm. But anyways, let me know what y'all think. Who's the better quarterback? Again, stat wise, Matt Ryan got it. Championship wise, Eli got it. Because to get to the playoffs, you have to have a great record, and the Falcons was always consistently better than the Giants year in and year out. You know, they traded a lot to get Julio Jones. Um, they traded a lot to get Julio Jones, and it paid off. You know, they you know, it got them a champ. Well, it got them a Super Bowl appearance. Like the Falcons was always consistently good, and you could say, well, Eli beat him in the playoffs at home, 24-2. And I'll say, yes, the Falcons are not a outdoor team. They don't necessarily particularly play well outdoors. It's basically indoors. They play like if they was at home. Cause I remember we did lose to them 54-0. I remember that. I think it was back in 2013, or if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was back in 2013. We lost to them 54-0. We was on the road that time, that game. And in 2011, we shut them out, only holding them to 2 points. So, yep. But anyways, man, let me know what y'all think. Who's a better quarterback? And I swear, if Matt Ryan gets in the Hall of Fame before Eli, because now Eli has to wait this whole entire year. He has to wait a whole another year again to be eligible for I said parole, to be eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. Like I already knew Eli was not going to be first ballot Hall of Fame. I know he was not going to get in the first try. You know, but you know, it is what it is. You know, he'll probably get in his second try, but if Matt Ryan gets in his first try, that's gonna be nuts. So you mean to tell me a guy who hasn't won anything for the Falcons is just one Super Bowl appearance, and you letting him in because of his statistics versus a guy who actually showed up in big games and delivered? Yeah, he had a defense to back him up, but he still went out there and threw them passes, you know. So, but anyways, man, like